Hi everyone and welcome. Tonight I'm doing a seafood chowder for dinner. I did a little bit of prep work earlier on, just so I wasn't keeping it while I was chopping or whatever. So basically in the pan at the moment I have a tablespoon of olive oil and about a quarter teaspoon of butter, just because I think this recipe needs a little bit of butter. It doesn't have to go into it, you can leave it out if you like, but I just prefer the butter in it. My onions have been softening for the last probably 5 minutes I'd say, and it's a fine dice on the onions. You don't want them too chunky. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add the garlic. I do have half a teaspoon of salt in there as well, and what I'm going to do is add about the same black pepper. So that's it, the garlic and the onions are in there. What we're going to add is 2 potatoes, which are this size, and I basically did a fine dice on them because you don't want them too big either, okay? So they're going to go into the pan along with 1 carrot, which is also finely diced. Everything for this really is finely diced because you don't want it to take forever to cook. I have, let me see, corn. You can buy fresh corn if you want. I did buy fresh corn today, just because it was on special and I prefer it. But if you can't buy it, or if it's more expensive or whatever, then just put in the tin of it. It's fine, just a small tin will do. So that's it. In here we have our onions, our garlic, salt, pepper, potatoes, carrots, and we're just going to leave that for maybe 5 minutes. And the rest of the ingredients that I'm going to add in are some white wine. This is the one that I use for my cooking, and it's really nice. We're going to use that, and that's about half a cup. Then we're going to use 2 litres of fish stock. You can make your own fish stock, it's no problem. I just didn't have time, so I picked that up at the supermarket. And I'm going to use some coconut milk instead of cream. If you prefer cream and you don't like coconut milk, it's fine, just go for low fat cream. You're only going to be using about a cup of it, I would say. And then the fish is totally up to you. What I'm using is the marinara mix. So there was salmon, squid, there's loads of different things in that one. I grabbed some fresh prawns and some mussels. So that's what I'm going to put into mine tonight. I'm not going to put any herbs into this. I'm going to put them over mine at the end with some crispy bacon. Just because everyone that's eating it doesn't like the herbs, so there's no point in ruining the whole dish just because I like it. So all things like that can go in at the end. So these are just softening down at the moment. This is such a healthy, hearty dish. I love it. I love seafood anyway. And a lot of people have been asking for seafood recipes. I've been rattling my brains trying to think what do people love. I love this one, but I love it spicy. But that's not really the way it's served normally. So I will do that further on down the track. I have mine with some chilies, some limes and coconut milk, or you can use the there's a new cream out at the moment. It's plant-based. I picked up some today, so I'm going to put a little bit on top of mine to see how I go with it. And it's like half the fat of normal cream. So look, you can still have nice stuff. There's ways and means around it. So this is softening now really nicely. To open my fish stock. So next that's going to go in is the white wine, and that's brilliant for deglazing the pan as well. If anything's stuck to the end of the pan, I'm just going to turn my pan up to medium just because it's not cooking fast enough. Just because I'm doing this, you can cook it low, because obviously we don't want anything to burn, but I don't want you sitting there just looking at me stirring the pot either. and today was weigh-in. So yeah, I was so delighted this morning. The way the weigh-in went. I am definitely starting to notice the difference in my clothes. I wasn't really expecting to be down a kg this morning again, but I was pleasantly surprised. So it definitely does show, like you'll see from the food that I've been eating the last 3 weeks. I'm definitely not starving myself. I'm eating proper healthy meals that are actually filling me throughout the day. And I was one that was really bad for picking beforehand, and I'd be eating in between meals, and whereas with this I find I'm not picking at all. On a Friday night I still do have a couple of glasses of wine. I've been doing the same thing. I've just cut out snacking, and I've made sure all my meals are actually healthy, that I'm not eating, well, I was never one for chocolate anyway, but like crisps or potatoes or anything like that, they were definitely my downfall. More savoury, but you open a bag and you could sit down watching a movie and you'd have the bag gone. So I think everyone's in the same boat. Everyone has their own, somebody's chocolate, somebody's potatoes. So look, it's just keeping an eye on it, that's all it is. But like, you don't have to stop everything either. It's like everything in proportion. So okay, I'm going to put my white wine into the pan and turn that up. And stop this going on the pan. And that was about half a cup, there or thereabouts. You don't have to add it. If you don't want to add the wine, you don't have to. I just think it does. It builds the sauce from the get-go. When we do have the fish stock in, and when it's after boiling for maybe 5 minutes, what I'm going to do is remove half of the sauce, and I'm going to put it into my Thermomix. You can put it into your blender or whatever you normally would blend your stuff in. Obviously it's going to be really hot, so if you want to leave it cool down for a little bit before you blend it, that's totally up to you. Obviously don't want anyone getting burnt, but it just gives the dish a good texture at the end. It thickens the sauce, especially with the potatoes. So the white wine has reduced and it's gone. So what we're going to do is we're going to add in our fish stock. Because this is dinner, I'm making a big thing of it. So I'm using 2 litres of fish stock. If you were doing it for lunch or something, you can definitely half the portions. It's totally up to you. But as I said, it is dinner, so we need to make it full. I'm going to have mine with some rolls that I picked up from Coles today. They're low GI, the 7 seeds in grain, and they're really nice. I'm just going to have one of those with I do try to keep my carbs for either breakfast or dinner. Today I did have the pancakes. I had the shepherd's pie for my lunch. I only had a really, really small bowl of it because I wasn't even hungry. And I'm going to have this with my bread roll. But the reason I'm having the bread roll with this as well is that I'm not hungry later on tonight, and that's when I'd start picking. So I do find I'm eating bigger breakfasts and bigger dinners, and then during the day I'm not really that hungry. I do drink a lot of water and have my say green tea with lemon and sometimes ginger. So yeah, I didn't add ginger to this actually. It's probably the first thing in the last couple of weeks I haven't added ginger to. But some people don't even add garlic to it. I just think that anything you can get garlic into, you should. It's so good for you.